Oh, may thy soldiers faithful, true, and bold fight as the saints nobly fought of old, and win with them the victor's crown of gold. Today is a special program. The Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition is an annual event which is organized by the Ghana Chamber of Mines to educate the citizenry on basic first aid tips as well as foster consciousness of safety in their everyday lives. The event is held in collaboration with the Minerals Commission and St. John Ambulance Ghana. This year's event, ladies and gentlemen, is themed "Every moment is an ambush. Think safety all the time." Today, we present to you the oral session of the Zone 1 edition of the 2025 Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition. Now, the competing teams are the Ghana Manganese Company Limited, which is the host company, Goldfields Ghana Limited, Tarkwa Mine, Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited, and AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem Limited. Last week, which was Saturday, the 19th day of July, 2025, which incidentally happened to be my birthday, the practical competition, put your hands together for the Christmas. Yes, last Saturday, 19th July, was a spirituals day. 2025, the practical component of the Zone 1 edition of the Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition was held at the Ghana Manganese Company Limited. In addition to the main teams, or the mine teams, the community teams also participated in the competition. Now, here, ladies and gentlemen, are excerpts of the practical session, including the community teams from the mining areas. Watch.
The 2025 Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition. This is the Zone 1.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this year Zone 1 Intermine First Aid and Safety Competition being hosted by Ghana Manganese Company under the theme "Every moment is an ambush, so think safely at all times." Nana Chairman, the Intermine Safety and First Aid Competition is a unique program designed for the mining industry to demonstrate our commitment to safe work practices conferred upon us by law and by the dictates of good corporate citizenship. Ghana Manganese Company particularly is proud to be associated with this event as a result. Ladies and gentlemen, for us here at Ghana Manganese Company, safety is our topmost priority. Our goal is to mine safely, protect lives and property, and also creating value for all our stakeholders. On this occasion, Nana Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to take this opportunity to reiterate our commitment to safe mining, encouraging participants and the public to take personal responsibility of their safety. Never, never, ever leave your safety in someone's hand.
At the mine village, a young boy suffers abrasion on his right knee during a football match. As first aiders, demonstrate your first aid skills, but do not transport. The scene is safe. One of your cooks accidentally splashed hot soup onto her forearm. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this injury, but do not transport. Note that the scene is safe.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good morning. I'm Anita.
Good morning, please. I'm Ayuso, President from
Can you help?
We are here to help
What
you,
happened
my
to
colleague. Okay, what happened to you?
Okay, keep still. Just remain your posture.
Let
This is
me
the
help
body
you
is
sit down.
broken. Okay, let me
Everything will
assist
be
you.
fine.
Sorry,
Sit down.
let me assist you sit down slowly and gently.
Okay, sit down. Okay, thank you.
Please go
How's
down
your
slowly
breathing?
and gently.
Okay.
At a newly construction site in your mine, an employee fell several feet to the ground whilst working on a scaffold. There is a fracture of the thigh, and the casualty is unable to move his right elbow, which is swollen and deformed. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for these injuries and load into the ambulance.
Okay, team. You have been called to manage an incident. Wait, let me inspect the area. Okay, the area is not safe. So it's involving a scaffold casualty. Please go and rescue the casualty. Make sure you lift the scaffold of the casualty if there are some.
It's a safer place assessment.
Hello, emergency. We have been called to manage a casualty involving a scaffold.
All right, please make the scoop ready. Be quick. All right, team members, be quick. Time is not on our side. All right. Keep talking to the casualty and let him know if there's any changes in the breathing at any point in time. You shall let us so that we help him breathe normally.
One. Okay. Okay, by the count of three, let's drop the casualty. One.
All right, up and down.
An infant of 10 months old is choked on a piece of toffee. The baby is distressed and unable to cry or laugh. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport. The scene is safe. An employee performing maintenance work on the electrical equipment receives electrical shock due to improper lockout or tagout procedure. The injury results in burns to his left palm and exit point on the foot. Treat the injury but do not transport. The scene is safe.
Entry point in his mouth and point of his foot. You do not need to give all the necessary first aid treatment. He's now under your care. Thank you.
Emisa is trying to revive Adwa, so everything will be fine, okay? Our aim here is now to bring Adwa back to Adwa will be fine. No. It made it. Okay. The man told baby Adwa, who was choking. When we are trying to give the right.
A bricklayer fell from a scaffold and hit his head on the ground, causing a skull fracture with bleeding from the left ear. He has a scalp wound, deformed, and bruised hand and fingers. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for these injuries and load into the ambulance.
Please, how's the bleeding at your hands? And all right, thank you. Elisa, please ask me.
Previous medical history? No. Okay. What's the last meal you ate? Okonte. Wow, that's a good choice of food. Okay. Don't worry, be fine. What happened, Mr. Kwame? You fell. That's how you're working. Take your safety very seriously, okay?
Elisa, please ask him whether the pain at his hand is okay. Please, is the pain at your hand okay?
First pair. At a particular session on your mine, workers were exposed to high temperature without enough break. One of the workers who is susceptible to heat begins to experience headache, dizziness, and confusion. His skin is hot to touch and dry. His pulse is full and bounding. As first aiders, demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport. The scene is safe. Pair 2. A chef incidentally sliced his index finger whilst cutting vegetables. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this injury, but do not transport. The scene is safe.
Hello, madam.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I'm from Fatima Police Station. Come here. We are here to your first aiders. Please, what's your name? Mela. Please, what's wrong with you? Oh, here is so hot. So please, let's take you to the cook place. Let's take you to the shady place. Okay. So let's lift you. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hello, sir. Please, what happened to you? What happened to you?
Tajati can talk to me. Her airway is open.
I can see airways greater. I can see your chest moving up and then
control the bleeding.
Let me check your vein and into that.
Her airway is open. I can see that she's bleeding.
A gentleman who was heading towards your site to deliver goods suddenly had an epileptic seizure. He lost control of the vehicle and veered off the road and ran into a tree. Upon your arrival, he had been rescued from the vehicle by the community people. Your team found the casualty lying down with an open fracture on the left eye. He is complaining of severe pain on his chest and ribs. When the team exposed the area, there were bruises. As trained first aiders, give treatment and support the injured to the medical facility.
Are you on any medication?
We don't have any soft pardon.
Do you have any past medical history?
No soft pardon.
What was your last oral intake?
Teacher.
Watch it.
Fast. Soft pardon.
Please, what were you doing before this?
I didn't give me a call.
Driving. Oh,
Teacher.
you'll be
Soft
fine.
pardon.
Okay. Please, what's your name
Soft
again?
pardon.
Please handle casualty with gentleness. Okay. Prepare to lift him.
Let's move. Here.
Okay, let's stand.
Let's go. Take position. Come on, this way. Take position.
Okay.
A cook sustained deep laceration wound in her left palm with a piece of glass firmly embedded in the wound. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport. Note that the scene is safe. Upon entering the washroom at site, you find a colleague leaning against the wall with rapid, shallow breathing. He is confused and feels drowsy. He is also complaining of diarrhea and abdominal discomfort, demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport.
Okay, Minela, we are first aid officer. We are here to help. Can you tell us what happened?
Okay, I can see he's bleeding from the hand, so I'm controlling the bleeding.
Sorry. So checking his initial vitals,
Okay,
his pulse rate is
bleeding is controlled.
His breath rate is
So I'm putting this in
temperature
the hazard bag.
Please come down. Sorry.
In the process of executing his task, a pressurized hydraulic hose slipped out of position and hit Atanga on the face and caused the following injuries: a deep cut on his upper lip, and 2 of his incisors were knocked out from the socket. Open fracture of his left shin with the bone end sticking out. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for these injuries and load into the ambulance.
Lean forward.
Calm down.
Your
Sorry,
waist.
sorry.
I need you to lean forward so that you.
Okay, Captain. Please, after exposing, I can see that there's a complex fracture here.
Relax.
So I'm
Okay.
in the process of controlling bleeding.
Hello, I'm Naomi. Good afternoon. First aid from Iduapriem. We came to meet this man 10 minutes ago with this sustained injuries. We've been able to manage it.
Okay, your scenario. A beekeeper was attacked with multiple stings on his face and neck by bees. This resulted in swollen face, pale skin, wheezing, and gasping for air. As community first aiders, demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition and transport to the community clinic.
Mr. Kwanzaa barricade and clear danger. Incidents were be processed here. Call Kayan and intervene one emergency. Hello. Hello, emergency. But you could show up but still an any ban on so Samson down to put your mom and say, I'm a movie, monk 5 some of the movie can buy and 110.
At a soccer bet sport in your community, there arose an argument among the youth which ended in a fierce fight. One of them suffered a stab wound on his abdomen. The wound is deep with a knife deeply embedded. There are bruises on one side of his face. Your casualty feels intense pain and exhibits signs of shock, such as rapid, shallow breathing, weakness, dizziness, and thirst. As community first aiders, demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition and transport to the community clinic.
Your time, man. Hello. For some watching, for some Frank, for some your face was empty. Me to attend this will be more about what to suck a bet for one brown number in Boma. Hello. As I'm to my car, James, I said, I'm happy for one brown number in Boma. As my way, you know.
Yo, Matamedate. I'm at the end, so yet you make sure the video for him.
I sabi afono. Divine, once up in why. What can I do you?
Obian can up mount me. You are there. It's Robian. Obian can up mount me. Papa Divine. Yeah, why?
Mr. Divine Sana Akmabon 77.
Okay.
Divine Jahum Kesmame. Now home Genesis Waba 14 was Macro game. Now we told other news to ye. It is that I remember my Sabiafuno.
Yo, Mate. Okay.
The casualty who was plucking coconuts from its tree by the riverbed slipped from the tree and fell, landing awkwardly at the edge of the riverbank and entered the river. He was rescued after spending some time in the water. The casualty is unresponsive with blood-stained watery fluid from the ear. As community first aiders demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition and transport to the community clinic.
Assign party said the metal should be free now and the Hunimaba, my phone to me say they are home. It is no minimum Casanti and I come at one corner. Give me a minute and I come out to now one day above. I am so tuned to him to say her near the son of it here. And I'm so that Chin Casano I can continue to me and went to my hand, but tomorrow I tired and why. Now the Furaga town. Okay, my child not tired, macho. You bet me to be Akatano. To assign Pachamation, I will say, Prabby or Baby, I buy one. But to say, would have been free beer finance airba. Assign party, say my hand, I come at 20 and home Jenny Beam. Much over 20 Macasana. What you didn't say?
During a musical festival, on a scorching hot day, when people were enjoying themselves, a young lady with layers of clothing begins to show signs of headache, dizziness, restlessness, and confusion. She is hot with dry skin. As the community first aiders demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition and transport to the community clinic. You have 1 minute to inspect your kits.
Okay. One Tianka. Okay. I say, oh, my wife. It's a very fine.
Kwekweje kapra why? I know why I say you know. Okay. But what's your friend kwekweje why? You pop one. Make me you pop one. Okay. Fine.
Committee first said the best men who tell me and say, well, my age, a drum will be on my fashion or hobbies when I'm a cough for your mumma. They are quite no yakotu. I buy a beer, I didn't fear a donumiano. Nay, I shall say the kind of Musa when you're his stroke.
On behalf of the Chamber's leadership, I reaffirm our commitment to enhancing the relevance and the impact of this noble legacy. We respectfully call on all stakeholders to join hands with us in this endeavor as we continue to elevate standards of safety in our industry and beyond. As we often say in our circles, safety is not just first, it is constant. Mr. Nana Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, To secure our future, we must train the next generation. The Chamber continues to invite students in mining catchment areas to participate in our safety essay competition, aimed at inspiring future paramedics and emergency responders.
That tells you that you must be very safety conscious, everything that you do in a mine. And today, we are reiterating, we are emphasizing that safety is the key in mining companies. Not even mining companies, even in our various homes. Whatever that we do, we have to take safety first.
Safety wa wutu anama wonim de woye ba se wu fi safety a obotum na odwa kwa kowe do obi onyo so do ukọ nti se ne de ya be hia wa ya ba be di agro ya ba bosu ade a de meka ne se oye competition na ebi ye no oya adesu ade de me nyina yentum na ye fa nante mpanyifo oba ye nyina no o ma kire nyama bebre nti yentum na ye fa nka de ye wo no ho na ye fa nko ye fifi yan fanko ye dwumam ne mfantu anamon na ye ditu anamon a obotum na wabo ye nyina ya me nshi obia madam ase.
Ladies and gentlemen, we produced the results of the nine teams of the Zone 1 edition as follows. Goldfields Ghana Limited, 49 points. Ghana Manganese Company Limited, 47.5 points. Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited, 52.5. And AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem Limited, 53.5. Now, it is worthy of notice, ladies and gentlemen, that while the practical session was ongoing, we had also selected students from the mining communities to participate in an essay competition. Now, their scripts were scrutinized. They were subsequently marked by the West African Examination Council's chief examiner for basic school level. Now, based on the results, we will proceed to present the prizes to the contestants, starting from the 8th position to the 1st, as we normally do in what you know circles. Now, to present the awards, we are honored to invite the Chief Inspector of Mines, Mr. Richard Kofi Ajayi. Put your hands together and welcome Mr. Richard Kofi Ajayi to do this scrumptious presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, we must give you notice of the fact that the 8th and 7th contestants are unfortunately not present here to receive the awards. But I need to declare their names and the schools from which they came. Adams Dadzi Diana, was from Dadrin School Complex. Of course, the whole program has been sponsored by the Ghana Manganese Company, and she came 8th in this competition. Alves Fortson also came from Dadrin School Complex, and as usual, sponsored by Ghana Manganese Company, and he came 7th in this competition. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the 6th position, we have Kimora Enyan, Eben Holy Spirit Preparatory School. The sponsoring company, AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem Limited. And for her prizes, a scrumptious lineup of prizes here. 1 branded school bag, 9 branded exercise books, hardcover, 1 dictionary, Oxford, and of course, 3 pens. Put your hands together again for her. Thank you. For the 5th position, we have Chris Ameningampong. Ameningampong has come from Asante Gold Bibiani Limited Basic School, sponsored here by Asante Gold Bibiani Limited, and he takes away 1 branded school bag, 9 branded exercise books, hardcover, 1 dictionary, Oxford, and 3 pens. For the 4th position, Elisa Yimboti, Ontoba, Tarkwa Goldfields, Acres. Sponsored by Goldfields Ghana Limited, 1 branded school bag, 9 branded exercise books, hardcover, 1 dictionary, Oxford, and last but not least, 3 pens for her. A round of applause for Elisa Yimboti. Beecham, Rachel Ajuan Ponsa. Ajuan Ponsa, she came 3rd in this competition. Asante Gold Bibiani Limited Basic School, sponsored by Asante Gold Bibiani Limited. And ladies and gentlemen, 1 branded school bag, 10 branded exercise books, hardcover, 1 dictionary, Oxford, and 3 pens for her. The person who came 2nd in this competition is Elliot Corey. Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron. And I heard somebody say Allah. Whether that is his nickname or not, I cannot tell. Aaron takes, of course, he has come from UMAT Basic School, UMAT. AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem, he came 2nd, but he takes away HP 250GA Celeron N40 24 GB 500 GB 15.6 inches. Oh la la. 1 branded school bag, 10 branded exercise books, hardcover, 1 dictionary, Oxford, and 3 pens. Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate prize. This is the most coveted prize, the most important prize in the cycle of all prizes. Ladies and gentlemen, you will welcome this individual who came from Tarkwa Goldfields. And no company was sponsored than Goldfields Ghana Limited, the first amongst them all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Amoisi Sharon Penning. Amoisi Sharon Penning. And this is the spectacular lineup of prizes available to this young lady. Lenovo i3, ID Pad 3, 4/1 TB, 15 IM 106, 81 WB 10th, 1 branded school book, school bag, 15 branded exercise books, hardcover, 1 dictionary, of course, Oxford, and 3 pens. Another wonderful. A round of applause for this wonderful lady, Amoisi Sharon Penning. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall go for a short break. We'll be back.
Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems, our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities, building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within, because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards, not just because we must, but because we choose to. GMC is not just a mining company. We are builders of legacy, and we are committed to mining with integrity. GMC, rooted in history, leading with purpose.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we have an ornate lineup of individuals here, and I think I have a duty to make a presentation of these responsible names in the affairs of this particular program. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to welcome Engineer Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe. He is the CEO, Ghana Chamber of Mines. Mr. Ashigbe, you're welcome. Mr. Kofi Ajay is the Chief Inspector of Mines, Minerals Division, Minerals Commission. Mr. Desmond Wine, Deputy Chief Inspector of Mines, Explosives, Minerals Commission. Mr. Mpofu Kwebia, Senior Assistant Chief Inspector of Mines, Minerals Commission. Mr. Kenneth Yeboah, Health and Safety Manager, Ashanti Gold, Bibiani Limited. Mr. Adam Gali, Health and Safety Manager, Ghana Manganese Company Limited. Mr. Eric Ntori, Senior Health Human Resource Officer, AngloGold Ashanti, Iduapriem Limited. Ms. Lenny Boy, Lead Health and Safety, Newmont Ahafo North Project. Mr. Stephen Boahin, Boama is the Health and Safety Manager, Goldfield Ghana Limited. Samuel Sefas Amu, Health and Safety Coordinator, Abosu Goldfields Limited. And last but not least, Mr. Philip Thompson, Adamu's Resources, Health, Safety, Environment, Community Relations and Security Manager. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. But there are people whose efforts have resulted in the current proceedings, ladies and gentlemen. The Central Planning Committee, Nana Ando, is the Deputy Chairman. Nana Ando is the Deputy Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, George Bintum is a member. Emmanuel Hackman is a member. Don McLean is a member. Yaya J.Y. Tuam Hene is a member. Nu Abdul Razak Raza is a member. Christopher Pokunyako is a member. Albert Amekuji is a member. And last but not least, Priscilla Enimousu, the secretary. Put your hands together for all of them. Thank you very much. Now we're coming to the competition itself, ladies and gentlemen. The competition on the ground. Now, very quickly, I have a duty to invite the contestants to introduce themselves.
Daniel Fanade Mibapuno. Francis Kankamo Usansa. Gofios Yana Tarkwa Mine.
Nimat Kudus Ishak.
Samson Ejiri.
Ghana Manganese. Gloria Amu Ajiman.
Bumbas Alasan, Asanti Gold.
Asante Gold Bibiani Limited.
Esther Kunsin. Unifera Kose of Fabia Boatin. AngloGold Ashanti.
Thank you. Now we have a splendid assemblage of contestants. In my capacity as quizmaster, I have a duty to spell out the rules which would regulate strictly the conduct of proceedings in this competition. Now, normally, every contestant is entitled to answer what we call a major question. But here, these rules don't apply. All the contestants are entitled to answer the same number of questions, the equal number of questions. Now, inasmuch as you sit in pairs, both of you have the right to put your heads together or collaborate in the delivery of an answer to the questions propounded by the quizmaster. Now, furthermore, you have an obligation to answer each question within 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and no more. Any answer which is delivered, in this particular instance, 10 seconds, which is delivered outside the boundaries of 10 seconds, would not in any manner attract the sympathy of the quizmaster. 10 seconds and no more. The questions are not transferable. All the contestants are entitled to answer the same number of questions. And so if you're ready, it's action stations. Round one, question one. And that was tintinabulation for you. Now listen to this one. So, Babano, and Francis Kankamuso, listen. Now, industrial explosives are high-hazard blasting materials used in the mining, quarrying, construction, perforating, avalanche control, forestry industries, and more. Now, they are generally classified as blasting explosives, perforating explosives, and special application explosives. Now, for you to use explosives, you must meet specific regulation requirements. For you to use, now, using the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulation 2012 LI 2177, Regulation 127, as your framework, state what the manager should ensure when it comes to explosives in transit under a blast man. Under a blast man. It is not transferable.
Please come again.
Coming again on an assignment like this. Using the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulation 2012 LI 2177 Regulation 127 as your framework. State what a manager should ensure when it comes to explosives in transit. Explosives in transit under a blast man. Explosives in transit. Their responsibility is onerous. I think no effort or deliver the responsibility of quizmaster to give the answer to this question. Now, he is supposed to ensure that explosives for which he or she is responsible and which are in transit are at all times under the direct supervision of a person who holds a blastman certificate of competence in accordance with Regulation 21 or Regulation 15. Now, Ghana Manganese, tell me who, according to the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations 2012 LI 2177, Regulation 128, and with reference to Regulation 21, is permitted to travel together with explosives in a conveyance in a ship or winch.
Please come again.
According to the Minerals and Mining and Explosives Regulations 2012 LI 2177, Regulation 128, and with reference to Regulation 21, who is permitted to travel together with explosives in a conveyance, in a ship or a winds?
A person who has a certificate of competency in accordance to Regulation 21.
Oh, madam, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. A cage tender or a holder of a blastman certificate. A blastman certificate. You understand? Of competence. A cage tender. Cage tender. Or a holder of a blastman certificate of competence. Now, AngloGold Bibiani Limited. Asante, listen. Now, listen. Now, you see, the principal means of access to an underground ore body is vertical opening called a shaft. Now, a mine shaft is a vertical or near vertical tunnel that provides access to underground mines for the purpose of accessing ore bodies, transporting personnel and materials, and ventilation. Now, within Regulation 1263 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations 2012 LI 2177, a manager shall, in relation to the transportation of explosives in a shaft for which that manager is responsible, ensure that a detonator and explosives are not transported together with a shaft conveyor. What else is the manager obliged to ensure in this regard? Madam, gentlemen.
Please come again.
Within Regulation 1263 of the Minerals and Mining Explosive Regulations 2177, a manager shall, in relation to the transportation of explosives in a shaft for which that manager is responsible, ensure that a detonator and explosives are not transported together with the shaft conveyor. They are both not conveyed at the same time. What else is the manager supposed to ensure in this regard?
So he shall ensure that it is transported under the direction of a competent person in accordance with Regulations 21.
Madam, I disagree with you. You see, with the exception... of fuses and fuse igniters, other materials must not be transported with explosives in a conveyor, in a shaft conveyance. None. Now, AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem. Now, in what mode? You understand? Now, there have been consistent failures in the past. But let's see whether you would rise above this kind of disaster. Listen, in what mode should explosives be transported from the underground magazine to the working face, according to Regulation 129 of the Minerals and Mining Explosive Regulations 2012 LI 2177? What mode should explosives be transported from the underground magazine to the working face?
Through a shaft or a wings.
In what mood? And simplicita. Yours is what? Simplicita is over. You give me a time. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, the explosives in this context should be transported to the working face in boxes, in canisters, and in cases. Now, those boxes, canisters, and cases should be approved in the first place by the Chief Inspector of Mines. So we're back to you, yes. Now, I suppose you're not happy. Because now, this is the nature of the world. Disaster befell all of you. Let's see what lies ahead of the beyond the horizon. Now, so is it Goldfields? Goldfields, listen. Now, you see, the principal means of access. Now, what is your understanding as the person in charge of an explosives magazine when it comes to opening a package containing explosives according to Regulation 136 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations 2012 LI 2177? What is your understanding as the person in charge of an explosives magazine when it comes to opening a package containing explosives according to Regulation 136?
So as a person in charge of an explosive magazine, when it comes to opening a packaging, you have to make sure that the packaging is opened at a safe distance from the magazine or a lobby to the magazine.
Put your hands together for him. Initially, I was slightly perturbed, by the introduction, the manner in which I thought you said lobbying. Someone was lobbying for something. And that is what disoriented my thinking about the righteousness of the answer. Of course, it's a lobby. The care must be taken to remove the package to a safe distance and from the explosives magazine. Or you could take it to a lobby of the magazine or to the lobby of the magazine. Now, Ghana Manganese, in order not to contravene the mining regulations, a person in charge of an explosives magazine shall post a copy of the original valid storage permit for the magazine issued in accordance with Regulation 32 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulation 2012 LI 2177. How, according to Regulation 137 of LI 2177, should the posting of the storage permit be done? How?
So, abstract of this regulation shall be posted behind a suitable transparent material in a position that makes it clearly visible at all times.
At all they should be posted behind a suitable, not any material, a suitable, transparent material, and obviously in a position that makes it conspicuous at all times. Ashanti Gold, you are going to declare one of the prohibitions on naked lights, matches, or smoking as contained in Regulation 139 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations 2012 LI 2177. One of the prohibitions. Now, in this particular arena, you will do so in turn. So you all provide one each. Oh, sorry, wait. No, you declare one. You are entitled to one of the prohibitions. Only one.
A person shall not smoke or take any naked light into a magazine area, danger building or danger zone in accordance with regulations 156. 56, sorry.
Which one do you like?
56.
The devil and the Hebrew, of course, it's not the devil. Put your hands Put your hands together and congratulate her, of course, for this performance. The person will not smoke. You should not take naked lights into a magazine area. or a danger building or a danger zone as indicated in Regulation 56. And furthermore, a person should not take material which is smoldering in the nature of burning, or an article designed or adapted like charcoal to produce a naked flame into a magazine or a magazine area. Good. Your turn, AngloGold. Now listen, Regulation 131 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations 2012, LI 2177 is clear on storage permits and leases. Now, what should the manager ensure on storage of explosives within this regulatory framework? What should he ensure within this framework?
The manager, according to Sub-Regulation 1, the manager shall store explosives of UN Division, UN Class 1, for which that manager is responsible, in accordance with the operating plan as specified under Regulation 9 and 10, and operating licenses as specified under Regulation.
No qualms about the delivery, because every single commodity, every single item has been delivered with such ferocity and energy that the quizmaster can do nothing about. The manager shall ensure that explosives, and those explosives are explosives of Division 1, Class 1, UN Class 1, for which that manager is responsible. And of course, in accordance with the operating plan provided under Regulations 9 and 10, and moreover, an operating license. You understand? Operating licenses are stipulated under Regulation 23. And in fact, even what do you call it? A permit, as stated under Regulation 32, or a permit. So we're back to Goldfield, Ghana. Now, one of the duties, listen with rapt attention, duties of the holder of a certificate of competency in charge of an explosives magazine within the framework of Regulation 131(1) of the Minerals and Mining Explosive Regulations 2012 LI 2177 is to keep full particulars of receipts and deliveries of explosives in the explosives record book. Now, mention any other duty of the holder of the certificate in this regard. Now, one each. There are 4 items. Democracy demands a delivery of 4 answers.
So he shall receive.
Last person here in this column of the competition. First.
He shall receive and store explosives and distribute them in appropriate manner.
He shall what?
Receive and store explosives and distribute them in appropriate manner.
Not in any half-hearted manner. You receive and store in the magazine and distribute in an orderly or appropriate manner. Ghana Manganese.
Keep in the magazine an explosive storage book.
You keep in the magazine an explosive storage book. Asanti.
By written order, authorize the issue of explosives from the explosive magazine.
Yes, written order authorize the issue. So the order ought to be reduced into writing. And finally, AngloGold Ashanti
shall not receive or issue explosives which are not in good working order or condition.
Absolutely. Don't deliver explosives which are not in good order and condition. End of round 1.
Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems. Our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities, building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within, because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards, not just because we must, but because we choose to. GMC is not just a mining company. We are builders of legacy, and we are committed to mining with integrity. GMC, rooted in history, leading with purpose.
At the end of the first round of the competition, Goldfields Ghana Limited has 6 points. Ghana Manganese Company Limited has 6 points. Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited has 6 points. And AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem Limited also came with 6 points.
Yes, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to the second department of this exercise. There is a plateau of performance. All the contestants, in accordance with the rules of equity, have 6 points each. Let's see what will happen, what will unravel in the second portion of the exercise. The second stanza. Round 2, question 1, and it is Goldfields Ghana Limited. Now, Goldfields. Now, Regulation 132 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations, LI 2177. It talks about explosives which are required for a shift. Now, your duty here is to mention one of the obligations of a person who is in charge of an explosives magazine. One of the duties. Now, in this regard, the contestants will have the right to answer one each. Mention one of the obligations of a person in charge of an explosives magazine.
So the explosive should be directly conveyed from the magazine.
No. Say it again.
The explosive should be directly conveyed from the magazine.
The explosives are to be conveyed directly from the magazine. I'll give you 2 out of 3. It was slightly paralytic in a certain sense. Slightly, especially getting to the apogee of the answer. He shall ensure that the explosives are conveyed directly from the magazine, but to the working face. To the working face. You understand? You don't convey by heart. Ghana Manganese, your duty.
So the person shall place the explosive issue in a securely closed canister or boxes.
Say it again.
The person shall place the explosive issued in a securely closed canister or boxes.
The person shall what? Say it again.
The person shall place the explosives issued in a securely closed canister.
Now
or
you are
boxes.
secure. You place the explosives in a securely closed boxes or canisters. Secure. The word is secure. Don't just put it in any box you like, but securely closed canisters or boxes. Yes, Ashanti Gold. Ashanti.
So delivered to the person in charge of the working place not more than 30 minutes before the working place is ready for blasting.
Say it again.
Delivered to the person. The explosives are issued to the person in charge of the working place not more than 30 minutes before the place is ready for blasting.
It is correct. You will issue to the person in charge of the working face not more than 30 minutes before the working place is ready for blasting. Final effort. Iduapriem.
Issue the explosives from a magazine to a person in charge of a working place. The probable quantity of explosives required for the use of the shifts. Issue explosives from the magazine.
Say it again.
Issue explosives from the magazine to a person in charge of the working place. Only the probable quantity of explosives required for the use.
One omission would have done you in. He shall issue from the magazine to the person in charge of each working place only the probable quantity. Only the probable. Not any quantity, but the probable quantity of explosives required for the use of the shifts. Required for the use of the shift. Now, for 3 points, Goldfields. Now, Goldfields, listen. Now, discipline, it aims at the removal of bad habits and the substitution of good habits. That's discipline. Having discipline is important for work, fitness, and reaching goals, especially when it comes to health, well-being, and achievements. Now, as a rule, a statement, as a rule is a statement, as it were, telling people what they should do in order to achieve success or a benefit of some kind. Now, one of the things a person must do whilst that person is in the mine regarding rules of discipline to be observed regarding vehicles as far as Regulation 165 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182 is to negligently or willfully drive or operate or cause to be driven or operated a vehicle in a manner that endangers the safety of the mine or the safety or health of any person in the mine. Provide any other rule you know in this column, in this regard. Start the crusade.
Shall not ride
Goldfields.
on or,
Sorry?
Shall not ride on or in a vehicle unless the vehicle is for shunting operations.
Shall not what?
Shall not ride on or in a vehicle unless the vehicle is used in shunting operations.
Say it again.
Shall not ride on or get on into a vehicle unless the vehicle is used in shunting operations.
I think I'll give you 2 instead of the 3. How to you understand? This is a proper dissection of the answer. You understand? You see, so shall not ride or get on or off the vehicle while the vehicle is in motion. While the vehicle is in motion, except where you are directly engaged in shunting. So the other column of the answer was prestigious, it was, you know, glorious, but the other sector was paralytic again. 2 out of 3. While the vehicle is in motion, don't ride on or get on. Now, Ghana Manganese.
The person shall not neglect to inspect or maintain a vehicle for which that person is required to inspect or maintain in the mine.
I disagree. Second chance.
The person shall not neglect to maintain or inspect a vehicle for which that person is required to maintain or inspect in the mine.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. That obligation is required under the regulations, not in the mine. It is required under the regulations. So you will not neglect or inspect or maintain, you know, the vehicle for which that person is required to inspect or maintain under the regulations. The obligations are provided and are not in the mine. 2 out of 3. Asanti goes. Ashanti.
So he shall not damage or willfully interfere or permit or cause another person to damage or interfere with a vehicle used in the mine.
He shall not what?
Damage or willfully damage or interfere with a vehicle or cause or permit another person to damage or interfere with a vehicle used
Absolutely.
in the mine.
Don't damage. You don't willfully damage. Deliberately you damage or you interfere with or you obstruct another person to instruct another person to damage or interfere. You don't do, but you transfer it through another person, you know, a vehicle which is supposed to be used in the mine. Final effort, AngloGold.
Shall not ride on or on any vehicle unless that person is competent to do so or is authorized, duly authorized to do so, and where that person's safety and any other person's safety is assured.
Yeah, I'll give only one. I'll give only one. I'll give only one. You understand? I'll give only one. It is not a penalty, it's a free kick. That's the referee's decision. You see, so as you indicated, you should not ride on or on any vehicle unless that person is authorized. And so you're right about that. You understand? But it is only when the person is in a position that does not endanger that person or any other person. You understand? Ride in or on any vehicle unless that person is authorized to ride in or on that vehicle, and then only in a position that does not endanger that person or any other person. Oh really? Oh, put your hands together. Then put your hands together for you. Put your hands together. Honestly, can you say it again?
Yes, does not ride on or on any vehicle unless that person is competent or is duly authorized to do so, and that person's safety and any other person's safety is assured. It's not endangered.
Endangered. Put your hands together for it. That is a lapsus. Now, the gold fields again. in a position that does not endanger that person or any other. Goldfields. Goldfields. Now listen, what should the manager of a mine do where traction in a mine is operated by machinery other than locomotive in the light of Regulation 168 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations? Now you take your time so the quizmaster can hear you well.
Please
what? Yes.
Come again.
What should the manager of a mine do where traction in a mine is operated by machinery other than locomotive in the light of Regulation 168 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182?
The manager shall ensure that where there is traction in the mine other than locomotives, the manager shall ensure that there are provided signals for the vehicles.
I disagree. He shall provide signaling apparatus by which distinct signals can be given to the engine driver from locations along the haulage way. So you see where the thing is coming from. Provide a signaling apparatus, the apparatus for signaling, by which distinct signals can be given to the engine driver, from locations along the haulage way. Ghana Manganese. Now, one of the things a manager of a mine shall ensure under material exceeding length of truck on 169 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182 is that a truck which contains timber or other material that exceeds the length of the truck is not coupled next to the locomotive or to a truck in which a person is being conveyed. What else should the manager ensure in this regard?
The manager shall ensure that a truck which contains timber or other material being transported in a mine by a locomotive is not pushed but pulled.
It's not pushed but pulled. Listen with rapt attention. Asante, you will state what a manager of a mine would do or should do and the arrangement of control levers within the framework of Regulation 170 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182. What should the manager of a mine do on control of levers?
Please, the question again.
State what a manager of a mine should do and the arrangement of control levers within Regulation 170 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182.
So the manager shall ensure that the control levers of a trolley locomotives are arranged in a manner that ensures that the lever cannot accidentally be moved when the power is on.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. You should ensure, you see, that the control lever of a storage battery in the first place, the control lever of a storage battery before the trolley, or a trolley locomotive in use in the mine is arranged in a manner that would not accidentally be moved when the power is on. So I think that the essence, the other part which was equally important was control lever of a storage battery. AngloGold. Now there are 2 conditions under which a self-propelled vehicle is not used in a mine, as captured in Regulation 171 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2182-2012. States both. You understand?
Please, your question again.
There are 2 conditions under which a self-propelled vehicle is not used in a mine as captured under Regulation 171 of the law. State those two conditions.
Is if the vehicle has a defect likely to affect its safe operation and is not replenished with the necessary and consumable stores. Is not properly maintained or replenished with the necessary consumable.
Put your The vehicle has a defect. It's a defect likely to affect, you understand, its safe operation. Or the vehicle is not maintained in a proper working order or replenished with the necessary consumables, necessary spare parts.
Yeah.
Now, Goldfields, under what condition can a person ride in or on any vehicle in a mine as stated in Regulation 167 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations LI 2182? Under what condition can a person ride on or in any vehicle in a mine?
So a person can ride on a vehicle in a mine if the vehicle is provided with safe, appropriate seatings for the operator.
Safe,
appropriate seating.
That's great. That's good. A safe, appropriate seating could mean many other things, but I think I'd rather give you 2 out of the 3. Your words were used in another context, and I think I agree with that. But if the vehicle was safe and appropriate, suitable and adequate, I think that safe and appropriate could fit well with the suitable position in this case. But the adequate accommodation provided for the purpose was left out. If the vehicle has suitable and adequate accommodation provided for the purpose, Ghana Manganese. Now, with reference to Regulation 178 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182, one of the things the manager of a mine should ensure is that where an accumulation of stagnant water is being drained from the winds, every practicable precaution is taken to prevent the pollution of the mine atmosphere by noxious gases given off by the water. What should the manager ensure in this regard?
Please come again.
Oh la la. This Kamagaism. The Kamagaism. Listen, with reference to Regulation 178 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations LI 2182, one of the things the manager of a mine should ensure is that where an accumulation of stagnant water is being drained from a winds, every practical precaution is taken to prevent the pollution of the mine atmosphere by noxious gases given off by the water. And I'm asking you, what else should the manager ensure here? Oh, you think you shall ensure the bail? Because you are reticent. He said nothing. I only heard the bail. He shall ensure that the stagnant water is not allowed to remain on the floors of levels which are in use. You understand? There must be levels of which are in use. It must not go beyond the levels which are not in use. Yes, Asante. Now, with reference, Regulation 180 of Regulation 1A, B and C of the Minerals and Mining Regulations, 2012 LI 2182, there are 3 conditions in the mine where the wet bulb temperature at any working place or any traveling way can exceed 32.5 degrees Celsius. Declare these 2 exceptions.
In attempt to lower the temperature, and during emergency situation, and when carrying out emergency response training.
Well, you want 3. Put your hands together. A quizmaster gives 2, and he provides an overdose of 3 in the course of attempting to lower the temperature, lowering the temperature, and then undertaking emergency response training, and then during what? Emergency situations. That's all. AngloGold. For 3 points, listen. What should the manager do in the work environment in case there is an upward variation in temperature as captured in Regulation 180(2) of the Minerals and Mining Regulations? What should the manager do in the work environment where there is an upward variation in temperature according to Regulation 180? Last question.
The manager of a mine shall provide longer breaks and reduce working time for persons in the mine where wet bulb temperatures exceeds 27 degrees Celsius. The manager of a mine shall provide...
The manager, he will provide longer breaks. I think there's a need for relaxation, longer breaks. So there will be longer breaks, and then the working time should also be reduced for the people inside the mine if the wet bulb temperature in the mine exceeds 27 degrees Celsius. End of round 2.
Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems. Our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards, not just because we must, but because we choose to. GMC is not just a mining company.
At the end of the second round of the competition, Goldfields Ghana Limited has 12 points. Ghana Manganese Company Limited has 14 points. Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited came with 17 points. And in the lead as at now is AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem Limited with 18 points.
Happy birthday to Madam Mary Oredua, Mayor of Kole, walking in Accra. May the Almighty God grant you the grace to see more years in good health and prosperity. From Ologo. Round 3, question 1. Now listen, Goldfields. Listen. Now Goldfields has been replaced, yes, with Daniel Bapono. We will introduce yourself very quickly.
My name is Tete Leon Michael.
Tete Leon Michael has now replaced Daniel Bapono. Round 3, question 1. And listen to this one for 3 points. Now, migraine attacks, they are severe, sickening headaches, and they can be triggered by a variety of causes, such as allergies. Now, we'll mention at least one other cause. Mention one cause of migraine that you know.
Stress.
Stress is correct. Ghana Manganese. Ghana Manganese. One simple cause.
Missed meal.
Missed meals is correct. Asante.
Tiredness.
Tiredness is one of them. AngloGold.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, obviously. Now, for 3 points, again, you would start the exercise, Goldfields. Now, Goldfields. Now, oxygen is essential to life. Every time, anytime we breathe in, air containing oxygen enters the lungs. Now, this oxygen is then transferred to the blood to be transported around the body. Now, within the respiratory process, the airway may be obstructed either externally or internally. One of the main causes of the obstruction is the inhalation of an object. Mention any other cause you know. Once again, you do so in turns. Start. Goldfields, the last question in this competition.
An asthma attack.
An asthmatic attack is correct. Manganese.
Injury to the face or jaw.
Injury to the face of the jaw could also
External pressure on the
be
neck.
a factor.
As
Sorry?
external pressure on the neck, as in hanging or strangulation.
External pressure on the neck as in strangulation. And finally,
Blockage of the airway by the tongue. Blockage of the airway by the tongue. Blockage by the airway of falling of the tongue or inhalation of food.
I'll give you 2 out of the 3. 2 out of the 3. And blocking, you see, in this column is the blockage of the tongue, blood or vomit, while the casualty is unresponsive. Or if I indeed, I think it's using my jurisdiction appropriately. I'd rather give you 1 out of the, not the 3. Blockage of the tongue, not only the tongue, but blood or vomit. While the casualty is unresponsive, these are the elements in the vein of this answer. 1 out of 3, end of the competition. One.
Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems. Our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities, building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within, because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards, not just because we must, but because we choose to. GMC is not just a mining company. We are builders of legacy, and we are committed to mining with integrity. GMC, rooted in history, leading with purpose. Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems. Our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities, building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards, not just because we must, but because we choose to. GMC is not just a mining company. We are builders of legacy, and we are committed to mining with integrity. GMC, rooted in history, leading with purpose. Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems. Our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities, building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards, not just because we must, but because we choose to. GMC is not just a mining company. We are builders of legacy, and we are committed to mining with integrity. GMC, rooted in history, leading with purpose. Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems. Our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities, building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards.
Okay, thank you.
Well, which are the two?
At the end of the final round of the competition, Goldfields Ghana Limited had 67 points. Ghana Manganese Company Limited has 67.5. Asante Gold Bibiani Limited came with 75.5. And AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem Limited also had 75.5.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the course of the competition, a question was put to Ghana Manganese when that question should not have been so propounded, in as much as it did not form part of the areas to be considered by the contestants. So it was a disservice, as it were, to Ghana Manganese. The Quizmaster therefore has the right to allocate appropriately to Ghana Manganese a question which is fair and is part of the column of questions provided the contestants. Column of the areas provided the contestants. Ghana Manganese, listen therefore with a cocked ear, or two cocked ears, as it were. Listen, now, where for any reason the ventilation required by Regulation 179 ceases, the manager of a mine is obliged to do two main things. As captured in Regulation 182 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182. Declare one of them.
The manager shall ensure that adequate ventilation is restored as soon as possible.
Oh, as soon as possible. Adequate ventilation is restored as soon as practicable. You understand? And furthermore, that steps should be taken to ensure the safety and health of any person who would be endangered by that condition. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie. A marvelous tie between Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited and AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem. So there's a few questions here with the view, with the aim of resolving this tie. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with Ashanti Gold. Asante, an explosive is a substance which, when properly initiated, is very rapidly converted to gases at high temperature and pressure. Now, there will be no room for second repetitions. Listen, therefore, with rapt attention. This process is called detonation. Now, a liter of modern high explosive will expand to around 1,000 liters within milliseconds, creating pressures in a blast hole. It is for this reason that care must be taken in handling explosives and detonators. State one of the obligations of a manager in relation to a magazine for which that manager is responsible as captured in Regulation 150 of the Minerals and Mining Explosive Regulations LI 2177. Now, the details ought to be provided. Any deviation from the details?
The manager shall ensure that explosives belonging to UN Division 1.1D are not stored together with other division of explosives.
That's correct. The details were supplied. The second aspect of it. The second.
Detonators pertaining to UN Division 1.1B and 1.4S are not stored with explosives of other divisions.
Prohibition is the act of practice of forbidding something by law. More particularly, the term refers to the burning of or the manufacture, storage, transportation, sale, possession, access to facility, and consumption of alcoholic beverages, for instance. Now, what does Regulation 148 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations 2012 LI 2177 say concerning prohibition of magazines near dwellings and public roads? I want the details.
A person in charge of an explosive magazine shall not construct a building closer to a dwelling, public road, or vulnerable facilities with, rather than the respective distancing as prescribed in Regulation 145.
Yeah, but you say shall not construct what?
shall not construct an explosive magazine closer to a dwelling, public road, and other facilities.
Public road, vulnerable facility, less than the respective distance as indicated in Regulation 145. Now, Regulation 145 of the Minerals and Mining Explosive Regulation 2012 LI 2177 talks about plans to be approved. State the distance according to Regulation 145.10 between two buildings used as a magazine for the purpose of these regulations. State the distance. I think there are two areas.
Is the shortest distance from the nearest point of the building from the nearest point of one building to the nearest point of another building, whether mounted or unmounted. And is there a shortest distance between the inner wall of one building to the inner wall of the other building, where the mount forms an integral part of the building? Where the mount forms an integral part of the building, is the distance between the inner wall of the building, of one building, to the inner wall of the another building.
Good. And the first one?
The first one is the shortest distance from the nearest wall of one building to the nearest wall of another building, whether mounted or mounted.
That is correct. Now, very quickly, now states when, according to Regulation 145.1 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations LI 2177, a person can construct or engage another person to construct a surface magazine.
Please, the question again.
States when, according to Regulation 145.1 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulations 2012 LI 2177, a person can construct or engage another person to construct a surface magazine.
So where the plan specification and site plans has been submitted to the Inspection Division for approval, including the fencing in accordance required under Regulations 152.
Say it again.
So when the plans, specifications, site plans has been submitted to the Commission for approval, including the fencing requirements required under Regulations 152.
I think it is correct. The specifications, plans of the magazine, including the fencing, I was waiting for that, required under sub-regulation, under Regulation 152, have been submitted to the Commission for approval. That is correct. Now, to repair is to put something damaged, broken, or not working correctly back into condition or make it work again. Regulation 140 of the Minerals and Mining Explosives Regulation 2012 LI 2177 talks about repairs of magazine. At what stage, according to Regulation 141, should repair work be carried out in a magazine?
The repair work shall be carried out in a magazine if the repair work is authorized in writing by the manager. It's authorized by the manager. Repairs to any explosive magazine shall only take place if it is authorized.
By the manager. Ladies and gentlemen, now the Minerals Commission, it appears we are deadlocked in this particular column of affairs, and there's a need for us to swerve into a certain category. ladies and gentlemen, this is what you know in any case. The Minerals Commission has 2 deputy chief inspector of mines. Name one.
Richard Kofieje. Honorable.
No, I said one.
Okay.
So you finish with your one. Minerals Commission has 2 deputy chief inspectors. Chief inspector of mines. One, you said Kofi.
Richard Kofi Eje.
And you say what?
Mr. Apia.
Both are incorrect. You have a chance to go back again. No, let's go. Please. One and one, there are 2. So once again, I give you the authority to go back to mentioning one of them.
Desmond Boahin.
Sorry?
Desmond Boahin.
Desmond Boahin. I think you have to look at the quiz matter and not to the people. Did you look at them before talking?
No.
Yes.
He told
yes.
Quiet time.
For the avoidance of doubt. Of course, so you mentioned Desmond Boahin. Yes. What other name do you have? AngloGold.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I think that there was no doubt in the delivery made by Ashanti Gold on Desmond Boahin. Of course, the performance of AngloGold has been brilliant. The second name here is John Amwenyi. John Amwenyi, the end of the competition.
Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths, drilling our first holes, and assembling passionate teams, to today's fully operational site, equipped with modern technology and safety systems. Our journey has been shaped by resilience, growth, and purpose. At GMC, safety is not negotiable. We believe every moment is an ambush. That's why we think safety at all times, because our people matter. But our impact goes far beyond the mine. We partner with our host communities, building schools, supporting clinics, creating jobs, and empowering women and the youth. We don't just extract resources, we invest in the future. GMC is powered by people, skilled, diverse, united. We believe in training, empowering, and promoting from within because our people are our greatest asset. Governance, transparency, responsibility sit at the core of our operation. We follow the highest standards, not just because we must, but because we choose to. GMC is not just a mining company. We are builders of legacy, and we are committed to mining with integrity. GMC, rooted in history, leading with purpose. Ghana Manganese Company Limited, a company born from a vision to mine responsibly, to create opportunities, and to deliver lasting values, not just for investors, but for the society. Our story began over a century ago in the heart of Nsuta, where we laid the foundation of what would become one of Ghana's trusted names in responsible mining. From our early days, clearing paths.
We've come to the end of the whole assignment, ladies and gentlemen, and in consonance with tradition, I, with unmingled pleasure, announced that the champions of this particular competition, which has been organized this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, welcome this combination of Asanti, Gloria, Amu, Ajiman, and Bumbas. Ashanti Gold, Bibiani. Ashanti Gold, Bibiani. But of course, we need to congratulate the courageous, the almighty effort of AngloGold Ashanti Iduapriem Limited, which fielded Esther Kumsing and Winifred Boateng, and all the other contestants. They've come to the end of the whole caboodle. The Lord bless you and keep you. Lord, let his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon all of you. Whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are of good report. If there be anything worthy of praise, think on these things. On this note, and until the same time next week, when we bring you questions from archaeology, zoology, on behalf of my producer, Francis Mensah, Kings Labuaje, Francis Terado, Collins Mensah, Samuel Logo, Chris Ryan, Crawford, Sabiviade, Sedna Mensah, John Pobia, and Strong, Agbemonu, Clifford Wiram, Stanley Jandu, and the one and only, Kanjaga Lagatin. This has been your Quizmaster, Dana Ferrier, asking you here, and those out there, it is what?